Sundown sessions.
Sundown sessions, baby. Look at us.
Yeah.
After the
Victor
sun
on the
goes
ones
down,
and
we're out here
twos.
shooting, boys.
Yeah.
You gotta bring your mic up.
I don't think this mic does what I want it to do.
You gotta make sure you're talking into
I will
it, though.
talk to it when I'm ready.
You gotta be putting your mouth in
I
that
don't
mic,
wanna
pussy. You
this
have
mic.
to the mic.
I don't think that's true.
Yes.
It's
No,
very
you know,
true.
no. You do have to do this, and you're gonna have to do this when you start finally doing stand-up comedy. So practice now.
You'd like that, wouldn't you?
All right. Yeah, I would.
I have so much interest in wanting to do it and just not simply having like the time to do it. And like I have a little bit of time, but like I want to like get into it, and that's what I don't have the time to do right now.
But you can. You can do it.
I could, but it won't be how like I want it to be.
Yeah, but you're not. Yeah, you want to come out swinging like you're Mike
That's
Tyson.
literally what I do with everything.
What? Oh my God, dude! Just sit down. Right, 5
I'm
minutes.
sitting right now.
Come to one of our open mics. Go to a Gainesville open mic. Dude, that's shit or get off the.
The
rock.
last show was dope though.
It was great.
It was a banger, like all around.
We should
I
be
will give you that.
getting
Shout out to
a video of that
all of the comics.
any minute now. I'm waiting right now for our boy Tommy to hook us
Wait
up.
a little bit longer. You're busy right now.
I mean, I'm busy right now, but any second,
You're with your best friend, trying to figure out why flip flops sound like
not
that.
Forrest.
Not Forrest. And we just want to know, why do flip flops sound like that?
Why do flip flops sound like why? First of all,
Why?
do you name something after the sound it makes? How many other things? We didn't name sirens wee woos. You know what I mean? That's not like
It's such
Somebody-
a unique sound too. Like you know,
somebody's
if
some
someone
fucking
played that sound clip, you'd be like flip flops.
some like ratchet hoe is like sliding up in that Circle K.
In downtown right now.
Oh my
Saturday
God! Just
night.
flop, 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 flop. Just.
Let me get a Tito's.
I hate flip flops. More power to you if
I
you're
love flip
wearing
flops.
them or currently wearing
I'm
them,
just saying.
but I despise wearing them. Like,
is he who we just described?
yeah,
Downtown right now. And
that's exactly right.
his flip flops.
Making his way downtown.
You gotta dig up my flip flops.
Yeah,
I didn't even know you were
immediately.
wearing them until just recently.
Even
I
though he told you
realized-
to your face.
That was the moment, actually.
Okay.
I was like, oh, he is wearing some
Yeah, he's doing his best.
feet.
I literally can't. I can't stand dirt between my toes like that unless it's going to be like unless I'm near the water, kind of thing.
That's what they're meant for.
Yeah, but people just wear them willy nilly.
Welcome to Marion County.
It's not just Marion County; they do it everywhere.
I agree.
It's maybe, it's just as bad as Crocs to me. Give me a guy.
I don't support the Croc movement
No.
at all.
Get out of here with your fucking Swiss cheese feet. I don't fucking think so.
Fun fact: flip flop is an onomatopoeia, which is a word that has
That's
sound,
makes yes,
that
it's
makes
like
the
bam
sound.
and pow and whack. But I don't sell products that are called bam, pow, or whack. But people sell products called flip flop. Can we?
How did
I thought we were
how
out of
did
the Stone Age, dude.
How did flip flops get its name? Let's hear it.
That's some Stone Age
It's a
shit.
great question. Well, he looks that up.
Some people call them shower shoes. I think that's also like maybe the dumbest name I've ever heard as
I've
well.
been there though.
Yeah, but you.
Been to any campsite. You appreciate them a lot.
Yeah, I get the intent.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You just hate them.
yeah.
So don't wear them to like the mall.
Don't call them dumb things. Also, just don't wear them.
I disagree.
I don't even like wearing them to the beach. Like, the second you get out of the water and sand gets between your foot and the part that goes between your toes and that flip flop, dude, it's over for me. I'm done. That's like
You got to use the little
My own
shower.
personal
You got to
hell.
use the little rinse off thing as you
there's
leave.
sand everywhere. The wind blows
As you
sand.
leave.
No, you're wild,
Dude,
dude.
you're way too big for that. That shit is staying pressed. The
will.
whole step motion.
I will have to say that I'm not technically wearing flip flops. I'm wearing slides.
Yeah.
Can I?
Run in them and see what it sounds like.
Probably the same reason why they're called what they're called.
What do we got?
Because of how they're made. The rubber soles slap against the bottom of your feet as you walk, making a flip flop sound. That's how they got their name.
What year did
obviously.
it say though, or does
Yeah.
it say? It probably doesn't. They're probably an ancient method of footwear, honestly, right?
I would assume so. It was probably what early shoes looked
I mean, like you see like those Japanese like wooden sandals, but those are like at least classy. You know what I mean?
When was the sandal invented?
Well, the flip flop originated in America in the 1950s.
I could see that.
Okay.
Experts believe the flip flops may have been around at least 6,000 years. Ancient Egyptians.
Yeah.
Yeah. Early footwear.
That tracks. I mean, it's obvious. I mean, it's obviously a very efficient and cheap way of strapping something to the bottom of your foot to protect it from whatever. However,
It
this,
seems
this only adds to my argument that this is some caveman shit, dude. Like,
Did they wear shoes?
this article.
caveman?
Yeah.
I think there's some evidence of them making like makeshift boots and stuff, like especially in northern climates or cold climates.
Did cavemen wear shoes?
Also, interesting to note about the flip flops. They showed up around in America around the 50s because they brought them back from Japan.
Yeah.
And they were originally called Zori in Japan.
Zori. That's a much cooler name.
Yeah,
Go give me some Zoris.
Similar.
You still wouldn't wear them.
I would be less disgusted.
Stop it.
I think.
Because it's called Zori.
Yeah.
You're a ridiculous person.
Name a more gross looking thing than like a trashy white girl in white flip flops that have been just beat up. It's like that vision is just imprinted in my mind anytime I see flip flops. Now I'm thinking of Victor in
live where I
white
do.
flip flops.
I see it all the time.
It's gross. I hate it here. Anyway, yeah, cavemen definitely wore boots.
Did they
definitely
wear
made
shoes?
Some sort of clothing.
Footwear. I don't know. This turned into a very large
Well,
thing here.
no, because it's some shit that I'm actually interested in. I'm pretty sure cavemen they weren't necessarily making civilizations, but they were living in cold climates, and I imagine. Also the definition of caveman is a little bit loose. Are we talking about like early humans, or are we talking about Neanderthals? Are we talking about,
That's what I was thinking too. Like, obviously, at some point, some cave people had footwear.
It looks like most of them from if you're defining caveman as like Neolithic, they usually show those people without shoes. But whenever it seems
That's
like
what I'm
there's
saying.
some sort of
When were snowshoes invented?
No, what about the guy that they found? The guy that they found frozen. He was wearing clothes. Remember that? Like they found that frozen caveman, and he was found wearing clothes. He had a satchel and shit like that. You don't remember that? Like 10 years ago or whatever. It may have been more than that.
Maybe. Can I go off topic right now?
Yeah. No. Go for it.
So, speaking of frozen, did you see the 3 men that froze to death in Kansas City?
I heard about. Shout out to Bailey Lauren, one of my favorite people ever. Her and I were talking about this just last night, I believe.
Crazy.
Or maybe it was Thursday night. But either way, like she also
And he sat in
brought
the
up-
house for like a day and a half.
Yeah. Also, but it's crazy because it coincides with the major plot point in the brand new show, the brand new season of True Detective, that Dark North or whatever it's called. It's I think it's some scientist or whatever is found dead, frozen in his backyard, and then like the story unravels from there, kind of a thing. Yeah. Wild, right?
And
I just
dude,
think that
there's some crazy things going on there.
Oh, I wasn't going to go that direction at all. I was like, they were probably watching football.
No, dude, no.
What?
Did you read anything about it?
No, I just my first.
Oh, my
Wait! Don't cut me
goodness.
off. My first assumption is before you say another word, this is what I think happened, with zero facts. To me, when somebody says that happened, I'm like, oh, there's like several drunk people that were all watching football, drank a little bit too much, fell asleep in their chair, and their wives were like, they'll sort it out, and then freezy bleezies.
No. This is like up there with like the Idaho murders.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, you should have read that one.
Maybe that's what she meant by plot.
No, dude. No. Wow. Oh, so like
I didn't put those two together. I'm an idiot sometimes.
So
Yeah, I
like
get it.
it was 4 dudes at a friend's house. Well, 3 were at a friend's house. The one guy lived there. He's still well alive.
The one that lived there.
Yeah, the one who owned the house. Yeah, it's so juicy.
I love this
Just
already.
Get ready for this little juice box here. So they were watching football, which was like, I think the game started at 3:30 their time, and so they're watching the football game, and everything is fine. And then I believe, I want to say, I'm very positive there was another gentleman there also that survived. So I think it was 5. And the guy who owned the house supposedly just went to bed. They were watching a TV show after the football game. This is like later on in the evening at nighttime. He just says, okay, guys, and whatever, and goes to bed. The other guy claims that everybody was alive when he left, and they were found in the backyard. And not only were they found in the backyard, they were not all together. 2 were together, and 1 was like away on the porch, and they were like in the yard, like sitting in chairs, I think. I'm not sure. I'd have to
Right.
fact
That's
check
what I
that.
heard was they were sitting in chairs.
Yeah. But then, like, their cars were still there, and this guy didn't answer anyone. They were found by one of the wives that broke into the house.
I knew that. Yeah.
And found them, and then like went up and found, went to him like, what the fuck is going on? And he just claims that, he didn't leave his house, so he didn't notice the cars, and he didn't look at his phone until after the police had contacted him and were involved. And yeah, it's just nuts. It's just
That
weird.
is wild.
And it's not being investigated with any foul play whatsoever, and that's been made very clear by the police department.
What?
No foul play is being investigated. They're waiting on the toxology report to see why. So it's definitely worth a look. Where was that? That was in Kansas, I believe.
Yeah. You had a news video. You want to play that?
Yeah.
Go for it. Yeah.
Nuts.
This is wild. And the
the
police
Idaho
are doing
murders.
next
Crazy
to nothing.
like the Idaho murders, dude.
I don't know. I think those Idaho murders are still
Dude.
pretty crazy.
Well,
This
that
trial needs to start. And they're not
The-
going to let media in on that either.
Arguably, I'm way more excited about this than the Epstein trial, the Depp and Heard trial. Like we've been waiting for this for over a year now, dude.
So long.
So, and also not a lot of, literally almost no new information other than like
Well, the
when
gag
they.
order's still in place, and he's not going to let media in the courtroom. I don't know the update on the media thing. They were trying to fight that, but it's real interesting. They're keeping it very, very hush hush.
Very hush hush. But what I was going to say is like after the footage of
And
the
he's so confident,
yeah
in his defense
yeah
right now.
yeah he thinks he's going to get off scot free, exonerated.
incredibly interesting.
To go that far, I think it's wild to say that you're going to get
You
exonerated.
get the gas chamber if you're wrong.
Yeah, I don't know.
Literally.
I don't know what it is in
I
that
don't know
state.
if they have that death penalty.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't think even know
But
if they have it in this
That's
state.
it.
But
It's a rat. Well, I think it's federal, so it wouldn't matter, right? How
yeah,
does that work?
because he crossed state lines and stuff like that, so it may be a
don't-
federal case in that case.
I don't know how that works.
Either way, if you're not aware of what happened with Brian Kohlberger and the Idaho State murders,
Google it.
he allegedly he was factual. He was known to frequent the area. He was living in Washington or something like that, but then he'd been known to drive into Idaho and back and forth and all this stuff. There's evidence of all this happening because of like GPS and all this craziness. Allegedly, he broke into a dormitory after maybe having visited it like the week or month prior, right? Allegedly, he broke in or walked into like the backsliding door, made his way inside,
massacred.
4 people, 2 girls sleeping in the same bed upstairs, 2 other people sleeping down the hallway from other people who are left alive.
There were 2 people left in the house. One person heard absolutely nothing. The other person saw
The killer.
alleged killer.
Saw Brian Colbert.
She kept hearing odd noises and would go to her door. And one of the times she went to the door, she looked, and there was a man coming out, or down the stairs, I believe, or down the hallway.
He was like coming.
I think he was exiting.
Yes.
Either way, and she just shut the door and stayed in there until noon or 11 a.m. the next day, like 12 hours or whatever it was. No, it was like 7 hours.
Now, this is, I would say,
Did not call 911. Never called 911. Called her friends first. They had come to their house, and then the friends had called 911.
I would say that is possibly the craziest part of this entire story. Is
She
that
just sat in the room.
who knows what she heard?
They know, but that no one has said what she was doing in the room.
Right.
There's no word. Just that's just a fact.
Is there any
We
word
have
on
to
whether
deal with
whether she's involved in the trial or not,
I think
as a
she
witness
has
or
to be.
something? I mean, I would think she would have to
She
be.
would have to be.
So here's the craziest. Here's what's
She
crazy.
ID'd the killer, by the way, with bushy eyebrows.
Yeah.
Which he definitely had.
Yes.
When you Google it, you'll see. And then just shut the door and did whatever until the next morning.
So one of the biggest mysteries about this whole thing is how do you have anything happen in the house? I mean, I understand that we say dormitory, but it's like it's a house.
It's an apartment. It's an apartment, like complex.
Right. There's several rooms. There's a dog involved. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
There's
there's a
so
dog
much
that was locked in
the
another room.
house. There's a dog there's the dog that was locked in the other room. You could hear the dog fighting and muffled like banging and stuff like that from
The
a security
next door
camera
neighbors.
across the street, basically across the
next door neighbor's
alley.
camera system picked up a bunch of sounds.
So the fact that girl, the one that was left
There
alive,
was like a Grubhub food delivery service there, like 10 minutes prior to the
Yep.
murders.
yep,
So many crazy things. What caught my attention to the entire case when it happened was that it was believed that the alleged killer was going on to online like forums and commenting how he would have committed the murder, and it ended up being basically step by step on what had actually happened.
Yes.
He was calling people out and correcting them.
Yep.
And it's believed it was him from like 2 accounts.
Seems like they picked him up in Pennsylvania. Too.
yeah,
Yeah.
He was. It was on
He
a
was pulled
traffic
over
stop.
several times.
Several
times.
Because we were already following it, and then when they caught him, we were like, "Holy shit!" You know what I mean? We'd
Yeah,
heard about
it
the
was-
crime, and then
They apparently had been following him for a while before they had made anything. They caught him. Well, there was the knife sheath, which I guess we should have.
I was
going
going
to
to get there in just a second.
They DNA on that. They got from some trash
Yep.
out of his house.
Yep. They took DNA off of his trash from one of his known locations or known whereabouts. They matched it to DNA on a knife sheath left behind in the house, which again. I think a lot of hubbub was made about that in the beginning about why would this knife sheath just be here, but when I've watched so many like true crime murder stories and how they unfold, and like if there's anything that sticks out in my mind about all of them is that generally these guys are in such a head rush, like they're laser focused on one thing, and details generally get missed, and that's how they get caught. And so the fact that there was so much hubbub about the knife sheath being left out and like some kind of I don't think it's any sort of conspiracy. I think it's just
Like American Nightmare.
Yeah.
Dude left his phone.
Yeah. We're great.
The cops had him in like no time.
No time.
Left his phone on the counter.
Yes.
While trying to commit an abduction and
Yeah.
other things. That guy just left the sheath of the knife. And then that's the other thing is, how does he know these people? And that's real kind of gray. It was a party house, so it's like
Yeah, there's some speculation that he had been
Could have
there
been
at
there
a party. Like
Yeah.
I can't remember the time
there's
frame.
a
but-
reason his DNA could be there.
Yes,
And they won't really like tell us why. There's just a lot we don't know.
There's
and
a
it's
lot.
a lot of that's speculating and
well, I
the
wonder.
trial's coming. We're gonna hear some stuff.
The trial's coming. I wonder.
Still got time to get
if
interested if
He
you're into that kind of thing.
maybe was fucking one of the girls in the house.
The girl he didn't kill that saw him. It's
Quite
something-
possibly. I mean, that's
there's
like
word he was a drug dealer, so there's that somebody in the house could have been purchasing from him. There's video of him in the same restaurant with them. I believe the same day. I'd have to fact check that as well.
I don't know.
But they were near each other within the same day. I know that.
And a lot of that information
But I
is
don't
going to
think they
be
told. Yeah, I don't think
hush
they
hush until we know anything, until they
have
release anything.
conversation.
Now, when you say
In
like
your-
gag order, do you think that extends to something after the trial is done and over, or the decision has to be
I
made
don't-
public, right?
Well, the decision will be made public, but like the details of it, I believe, are still hush hush. And I don't know if that extends past the trial, during the trial. I don't know. They're not allowing the media in, so I would assume that's still.
Yeah, but there's still going to be transcripts of the court cases and stuff like that. I mean, I don't know,
Yeah, maybe afterwards
right?
we'd have to make.
I mean, it's
call.
just like the Epstein papers that were released not long ago too, that I obsessed over for about 2.5 days.
I was there. I watched. You obsessed. Getting your FBI clearance.
Yeah, I basically have. I have top secret clearance at this point.
Yeah.
We are sponsored by the Tipsy Skipper. It is the only place downtown to get tropical drinks. We
Go get
work
one.
really hard
Delicious drinks.
We work so hard to craft these cocktails. Every few months, every season, we release a brand new menu. All the drinks are amazing. We work really hard to put them out there. Come try every single one of them. Maybe not in the same night. That's probably a terrible idea, but
Maybe not. Get
over
an
the
Uber.
course of the season, you should frequent and come down and try as many of these
If
drinks
you have
as
an
possible.
Uber.
We are tomorrow, the night that we are recording this podcast, tomorrow morning, meeting for our next menu meeting. It's going to be great for the spring. Come check us out downtown, right next to the Marion Theater, Tipsy Skipper.
Yeah, go down and check out who the secret bartender is.
I think the secret's out.
Back to the Idaho murders, though.
Yeah.
Do you think the police work was solid? Do you think that they've done good police work, or do we?
Well, they
do we
caught
even
him
know?
fairly quickly, even though he
Yeah,
he
the
moved.
FBI's doing it.
Yeah.
The FBI took care of it all. The police there could, if I believe correctly, they had never like really had anything like that before.
No, and wait, refresh my memory. How long did it take after the murders for them to track him down? Because I feel like it wasn't that long. Maybe I'm wrong.
What was that other famous killer we watched on Netflix? The old guy. He was a cop in the end.
Talking about I don't think it was on Netflix. I thought that was the one that was on HBO with Patton Oswalt's wife.
Is that the one she solved?
Yeah, I think that
what,
is.
What killer was that? I know. That's where I'm at.
I don't remember.
I'll drink
There's
to
so
that.
many. There's so many we've seen.
Not
Dude.
alcohol.
You know where it all started? Like
California.
No, me and you watching these things because you hooked me on it.
I'm just wondering how far that was from the American Nightmare stuff.
Oh no, the American Nightmare. That was recently. That just happened.
I know, but where and like they're both in California, correct?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure American Nightmare was in California.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it wasn't the other one. And he was a famous killer.
Yeah, but I mean, there's so many famous killers from California.
I understand that. I feel like it's pretty close though.
Yeah, probably.
So it's called it's
And
something
that
about
guy
the
tried
Golden
twice.
State Killer.
Golden State Killer.
And
that's
couldn't.
California.
Yeah, the Golden State. And that guy tried twice and like had a change of conscience, and then went home and like replanned, and then
Yeah.
finally committed those heinous things.
Speaking of American Nightmare, I was I know that happened to I know that's terrible what happened to those people, but I was kind of disappointed about how it all ended. Usually there's some big twist. I was
The big
disappointed
twist
about
was that it was exactly what it was supposed to be in the
Yeah.
first place. I thought that was
It was actually a kidnapping.
I mean,
So,
the twist was, the police are bad at police work.
we
got
that's not
that.
really for me. Again, dude, we have literally watched so many hours of this kind of stuff. The bad police work is problem number one in most of these cases.
Always.
Now,
That was
let
an
us, I want
extreme
it to
example
be
of it.
said here and now, though, there is excellent police work that gets done. There are killers out there that get caught very quickly. However, man, that American Nightmare cop was so far up his own
Was
ass.
that Mustard?
Dude. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mustard.
So far up his own ass, and he's just he could not see past.
Now I put puzzles
Yeah.
together.
Yeah.
Now I get my pieces.
What
and I
you
start
are not
putting this
Sherlock Holmes. You are not, sir. Like,
So-
get up off him, man.
I think it was fine for him to think
together. Ace
that.
Ventura is
But
a better detective than
as,
you are.
as soon as she showed back up, I mean, why didn't they just?
Because she wouldn't
Okay.
talk to them.
I guess that is kind of suspicious, but
But so didn't the other guy. What was her boyfriend's name? He didn't talk either. For what? He sat at home for a little while.
You mean after
Yeah.
she was kidnapped?
Yeah.
He was tied up.
he was
Yeah.
he was
well, no,
drugged.
he was drugged, but
And then
he
he couldn't
woke
go
up on the
outside the
couch.
square.
Yeah, the
Yeah. I mean,
square.
it was a
but
kind
he
of
sat
a
there for a
ridiculous
little
story.
while.
It was kind
And
of.
then
a
he
ridiculous-
finally called him. So it's really like the same thing. Like it was basic. What I'm trying to get is they were both threatened in a very similar
Okay,
manner.
let me frame it like this, because I feel like I know exactly how I would feel in that situation, and I feel like,
Do you?
yeah, I feel like I was being pranked.
No.
Yeah. So let me put it to you this way:
No.
when we were in, I can't. believe I'm
Forrest
saying this.
wouldn't be able to even pull anything remotely that close.
No.
Together.
So when we were in high school, a
He could
couple
never
of friends.
move you to the couch.
When we were in high school, a couple of friends of mine pranked another friend of ours because he was doing some shady shit with one of our girls, by jumping out of a car in black ski masks, putting a pillowcase over his head, lifting him up, throwing him in the trunk of an old car that had no way of like him pulling his way out, and they drove for 50 miles. Did not say a word, no music, no nothing. They recorded every sound of this guy screaming, pleading in the car for 50 miles.
I love this.
Having that in my reality goes, the next day I'd wake up and I would call you. First thing, I'd be like, what the fuck did I do to you? And you would be like, I don't know. Why don't you tell me? You know what I mean?
I have no idea.
Like that, my first instinct would be, I'm getting pranked. She's in on it. Like, what in the actual hell? And then after like frantic me trying to call everybody I know that would do something that diabolical to me.
Dan calls 15 people
Yeah.
trying to figure it out.
So you would call he didn't call the police for it right away. So you would have called all your friends
Yeah.
and then the police.
Yes. Yeah, I think I mean,
That is
again,
literally a mix of both of them, by the way.
Yeah.
The Idaho murders and her just sitting there and calling her friends, and then American Nightmare of him just sitting
but
there.
I'm saying
not calling the
in
police.
that particular setting where like, because think about it like this. You could have said that there was something in that shit, and I would have just fallen back to sleep. It could have been placebo. It could have been a heavy dose of mushroom
I
tea.
think our friendship
and
is better than
It
that. Like,
certainly
I'd at
is.
least drug you.
It certainly
If
is.
I can do anything, it's
But
drug
say
you.
for a second I made you so mad
Can we
that
cut
you
that
needed-
out? That sounds terrible.
No, it's stated.
Only Dan. I'd only do that to Dan.
But again, I think you would do that. No, but having told you that story and having that in my reality, having that have happened in my life, or not Didn't happen to me. I am just very close friends to everybody that was involved. And
Were
got
you
to
much
hear the whole
smaller
story.
back then?
I'm the same guy. I'm like
Same size?
I'm like 30 pounds heavier than I was in high school.
Yeah. It'd be hard to like drag you down
Yeah, good
and
luck.
get you on a couch.
Yeah, then I was a
Probably
I
why
was
you
a-
feel so confident that this won't happen to you.
I was a deep water lifeguard at the time.
There are people out there that like
exercising, too.
genuinely think this is gonna happen.
Yeah,
Like I have a friend.
there's women that
I have a friend. She didn't take the edible warning seriously.
yeah.
And now every time she eats edibles, she has to like block her doors and put stuff in front of them and like blockade them.
Imagine
And it is hilarious.
Imagine just for a second that you tied me up and fed me a whole one of those.
I couldn't get you on a couch.
Again, I know that, but like that's all it would take
But I mean, also,
for me to
there
go
was-
night night real quick like that. Oh yeah, I would. Be
I'm thinking
out.
like Home Alone.
There was also the laser pointer that kind of made it seem like that there was
The
knives.
sweat.
He's just
the
holding two different
swimsuit.
things. That's
The
all he's
swimsuit. The
Oh, yeah,
goggles.
yeah, the wetsuit.
Yeah, the wetsuit.
That part of the story was crazy.
I missed something. Who was? They said that there were supposed to be when the guy, the victim, the man, first describes the encounter. He says they. Was there more than one person confirmed?
It kinda-
he kept portraying that it was a they, and I think that's what the blow up doll was to give the appearance of another person.
So maybe he's holding
So he-
one
yeah,
thing
so-
over here and holding the blow up doll over there.
So I would probably assume that the blow up doll was holding the laser pointer or the flashlight, the flashy part
Yeah.
thing, just to really throw him off.
Yeah,
The
I mean,
dude
'cause-
was like, it's pretty smart actually.
yeah.
And until he left his phone, and yeah, but he got
that was
caught.
crazy,
I'm happy
too.
he got caught.
But,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
that
Let's
whole
not perceive this
situation
in
and
any
why
other way.
that whole situation and why
He's-
he even left his phone in the first place was crazy too.
Because he caught the dad.
because they were telling them
Who brings your phone?
they were blaming
Yeah, why would you?
Aaron and Denise. They were blaming them for it being a hoax, and then the guy calls in to a reporter and says
Oh, that was the other part of that. Yeah. The
says if you don't stop doing this, or if you don't stop blaming them for this, it's gonna happen again. So that's where he got the opportunity to even leave his phone.
Yeah.
Yeah. He was sending in all that information like about him, how he was, a Marine and college graduate.
Yeah.
And all this stuff, like really taunting them. He wanted to get caught.
He wanted to, I mean,
Sometimes
but some of these
that's
guys
just how
do
it
it for
goes.
the infamy. They do it to be like, and he had so many other crimes before too, right? He was like, he would stalking and fucking
He
like
also-
assault charges and other things, right? Wasn't it like a list of things that he was doing right before all this?
He almost did this to 2 other women.
That's right. Yeah.
Right before.
Several. There were several.
And then he was peeking in windows, allegedly.
Whatever. Yeah. But it escalated and he was caught twice before at least. Maybe look out for this guy. Maybe make sure
Yeah,
you're being
that was
like,
what the one detective had said, was that he had him as a person of interest for quite some time, and it was like 9 years or some shit. Yeah, 2 years, I don't know, something. But if you watch it, he says that, yeah. And then the dude just strikes again 40 miles away, and it doesn't go as well, and he ends up leaving his phone and getting caught. But he had the change of conscience in the beginning.
Yeah.
So that it makes you kind of wonder at the end, like maybe he wanted this to stop.
I mean, he was a sick person, and that's.
And I'm in
definitely a
no way
possibility.
like trying to like build a defense for this man, and he deserves to
No.
everything he gets and all of that. I'm just
No,
saying,
but other
like,
killers, other
Yeah.
criminals like that do kidnapping.
they
stuff
walk
like
a
that.
line hoping
Yeah.
that
Hopefully
it.
somebody will stop them. There's a little bit of that in whatever
real.
what they do every day. Man,
The other crazy part about it was whenever he said it was supposed to be for your ex-girlfriend, and then the ex-girlfriend dated the FBI agent or two, right?
Yeah, he was. She was supposed to be his ex, not her, the Andrea girl. And then come to find out that the FBI agent handling the case was dating his ex, Andrea, which is just very bizarre. And they said at the end of the documentary that it was never spoke why it was supposed to be her and not Denise. And they just leave it like that, which I find very interesting. Because, like, maybe the FBI, when they agreed to, like, let this documentary go out, they were like, you can do it, but, like, this part here, we're just not gonna.
Yeah,
We're not gonna talk about that. So,
man, and then of course, like, her whole experience while she was captured was obviously horrific. It was not. I mean, that's probably for me was the worst part of the whole thing, was the fact that they didn't believe her after all that had happened.
no
And then
police
thought
work.
that she was doing a movie thing.
Yes. And man, what a fuck up. Like, what a fuck up.
Yeah, it's real
It sucks
shit
to
work.
see. And again, there are police that there are officers, detectives, everybody from top to bottom that are out there doing their job and doing it well. But to fuck up that hard on a case of like of an abduction, what are we doing, man?
Yeah, just not even interested in investigating.
You have to have. I mean, I understand if you have like a hunch.
You think he's going for false confession?
No.
You think he solely believed that it was?
I think they have too much evidence of the fact that it was him now. You know what I mean? They've
No,
must have
I'm
collected-
talking about her boyfriend.
Do you think they would have got him on a false
Do you
confession?
think that's what they were going for?
I mean, yeah.
Knowing what you know
They're
about
going-
the
they were
FBI
going-
agent dating the ex, knowing that it was meant for the ex.
The guy seemed super nice and maybe a little weak-minded. You know what I mean? Like he could be heavily
I mean,
influenced.
are
I
you?
think that's a possibility.
Are you a believer of false confession?
Yes.
Do you believe that it is a method intentionally used by whatever department you so see fit to put right in there?
We're talking about.
It doesn't. I'm not saying
That's
it's
conspiracy theory territory.
It is,
And
and
I'm
I'm
not
talking about
knocking
I'm
that.
talking about if you are an FBI agent, which in this case there was one, and you obviously apparently dated the girl who was supposed to be abducted, because he told her from the start she would be released in 48 hours.
Right.
So, do you think they would get the false confession in that 48 hours?
I don't have enough information.
We watched the same series.
Right. I don't have enough information to say that it was rigged. I think coincidences happen. I think that.
What do you mean?
What do you mean? What do I mean? I think
It was meant for the ex,
right.
according to the kidnapper.
Yeah.
I
So
to be honest, want to know more about the whole
So-
situation too. With her, that whole situation was weird.
What I'm saying, well, okay, so he maybe could have staked out that place before, knew that there was a man that had a woman that frequented there, right? Because there had to be some level of planning, some level of knowledge of what he was going to do, right?
do you believe he worked alone?
I don't know.
And do you think that? So you're saying that he probably cased his victims every time it happened, so that he would know the schedules. And the
I would
ins and
say
outs.
I would say that most murderers and most people who commit crimes of that nature, where you're breaking and entering and you're violating people and you're kidnapping somebody for Pete's sake, like he was clearly trying to kidnap these people to have sex with him, right?
Clearly.
Clearly.
They
So-
never say how he gets in the house either.
Never say how he gets in the house. He probably said that, meaning I meant this for her. Like I meant for you to be a different woman, because I had the hots for this. Other
And then
woman.
it's coincidental that the FBI agent dated her and was fucking up this case royally.
So do you
Well,
think that the
it's gonna be-
ex-girlfriend put him on to
Hold on.
them?
Is the level of coincidence there for me to believe wholeheartedly that this is all a setup? No. Because if there's an FBI agency nearby, we'll say within 30 miles, the chances of him having dated somebody so close to the other guy, right, is not impossible. You know what I mean? Especially in the day and age of things like Tinder and all that kind of stuff. Think about it.
All three of them work together.
Right.
So, like, I don't know, dude.
I'm not saying that
I
it's
don't
not.
know,
I'm
dude.
not saying that it's not possible. I'm saying that it's
I don't
also.
know, dude. I'm not saying that the false confession thing is, as you know, is the plan, but there's something fishy going on there, dude.
Yes, 100% something doesn't
They don't
add
put
up.
the boring stuff on Netflix.
Right.
There's got to be some sort of juice to it.
Maybe there's
And that's why
information.
they leave you like thinking.
Maybe there's connecting information we're not allowed to know, so they just kind
I
of
agree. I 100%
smooth right over
agree.
the part and didn't even.
100%.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, what did the ex-girlfriend maybe put that guy onto them, and that's why the boyfriend was involved, because he was trying to make sure she didn't get in trouble for it?
It's a lot of work for $15,000. That's the other thing is there was a ransom.
I think that was
What would happen if the ransom got paid?
I think that was a decoy.
I
Maybe
don't
that
know.
was her
There's
part
so
of it.
much shit.
It's so different from all the other cases he was involved in as
Yeah.
well. And then they said right before that he raped the Denise girl that another car came to the house. And she heard the car leave. And he came in the room.
Right. There's other people involved.
There's got to be. So if there's other people involved, then the likelihood of it actually being a, hey, I'm hiring you to kill her.
Yeah. There's other
Or
people
kidnap.
involved to what they did and where they were and what roles they played. I have no information, no real idea. I can assume that he must have been in some circles that are not savory. Had a friend that was just as fucked up as he was, something that was just willing to like sit and watch while he had to go do his everyday life shit. You know what I mean?
But he didn't have any everyday life shit. He was staying in his mom's cabin on the lake, living his best life.
Yeah, but we'd still have to make a run to get food or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, I think he just leaves her locked in there.
You don't think that he would have
Maybe.
somebody
Maybe.
if somebody was involved enough to have
If there are other
pulled
people
up and
involved, then
stopped by?
obviously, yeah.
maybe it was his mom coming to check on, or you know what I mean? Maybe it was one
Bring
of
him
his
some
family
food.
members.
I brought you some sandwiches.
Yeah, dude. Like maybe it legitimately was that. Like
Maybe.
you know, did she
He
mention
was just
if there
like-
was if she heard any like voices or
Ooh, how far away were they?
what do you mean
How far away did she live?
from?
The cabins.
Well, she
Her-
ended
his
up
mom?
she ended up getting dropped off at her dad's house.
Yes,
I'm talking about
Sad.
them. I'm talking about the mom.
the mom of the killer or the kidnapper.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Because she gave up real quick that he was at the cabin.
Yeah,
And she said up. So, usually implying it was, a distance north.
but if it's on property, like you can assume it's not that far.
wanna
It's
say
not
it
like
was-
a mile or maybe. I mean, it could be, but
It was like 130 miles from where the police were, I believe.
where the cabin was from her house.
No, from where the police station was. That had found the goggles. Anyways. Yeah.
found the goggles.
They did.
Dude, when they started revealing the evidence they were finding,
In the cabin.
like my jaw dropped. Like honestly, because there was some of
I
that
watched
stuff.
it.
Because I mean, it's what
I watched it twice.
I haven't
and
watched it.
was-
I've only
and
watched it
was-
once through, so I
I
am
watched
lacking
it
maybe a little
twice,
information on some of this, just
and-
for FYI.
For this podcast purposes, I watched it a second time, and I got to remember some of the things. And then, like, you know, when you watch something a second time, like, you see things because you know.
Yeah, I'm
things
going to
are
do
coming
that
up.
tonight because I'm an
So,
asshole.
like, in the first episode, they do a lot of things, and it's you'll see it all again in the third episode.
Yeah.
And it's just basic things you would never notice unless you knew, and now that you know, you see, and you're like, okay,
Yeah,
all right, I see it.
yeah.
I think I was surprised that to find out that nothing had happened to her by this, or something happened to her in the second episode. But whenever she didn't even show up in the first episode. That was interesting. The way that
Yeah,
they
she was
presented it.
Well, I think Netflix always has the one up on almost everybody else, but the way they shoot some of these documentaries is so fucking compelling.
Yeah,
I'm riveted from the start.
They're on it.
Getting like zooming out a little bit because I do want to talk a little bit more
They
about
just
some.
signed the deal with the WWE. Did you see that?
Yeah,
to stream
Raw
Raw?
is going to be on
Yeah,
Netflix. That's pretty
$5
cool.
billion.
I'll probably watch some of it sometime.
You know what that means?
I work that night though.
We're about to get some really good shit on Netflix.
Oh,
So
yeah.
they're about to make some money.
Oh yeah.
That movement is strong. A little bit not strong now with the current events, but the thing with Vince, are you surprised?
No, I figured after those allegations really started hitting
There's a lot of them.
the fan.
A lot of people say it though.
Yeah. I kind of always assumed he was a shit human. Is that a weird thing to say? Like I
feel
was
like-
wanted to
I
like
feel
him.
like that's always
but-
been how I felt.
Yeah.
And anyone that talks about him has very like mixed things to say.
Like-
each individual has like good and bad things to say.
So allegedly he is guilty of sex trafficking, which is wild.
Wild, but I could see it.
Can definitely see it.
Sexual assault.
Do you think this has anything to do with recent developments in the Epstein stuff? Do you think that maybe this is some of the stuff we weren't allowed to read, and that maybe he was one of the names in those documents?
He's got the money.
He fits the bill. You know what I mean?
Oh. And there's got to be pictures of them together somewhere.
I don't know. I'm not trying to even. I'm just putting it out there that the
But
timing
no, I'm
is
agreeing.
a little.
I'm agreeing 100%.
conspicuous.
Especially when Vince was big, which is basically when this was all happening.
90s too. I mean, he's
And,
never.
like,
he hasn't not been big for 40 years.
Vince
almost.
had a lot of Florida activity,
Yeah.
and Epstein was like this state's personal, like guy to call.
Yeah. I don't
Which
know.
is-
I
which is
have.
interesting.
This is all absolute speculation.
It
I don't
is.
want to say that
It's a good one.
It is a pretty. I would say that
It's a good one.
I would not be shocked if that was the case. We will probably never know that. But am I shocked? Not necessarily. Does it suck? Yeah, because I wanted to kind of like the guy when I watched wrestling a lot as a kid. From a very young age, and he always played the character of the shitty boss, and I kind of loved that.
Yeah.
And I loved
Well,
believing
everyone
that.
says he is.
Yeah.
The shitty boss.
Yes. Now that everybody's writing books
And it sucks because
social
like
media
what
exists.
he did is such.
Oh, he created an empire. Well, maybe not so created, but he
flat out
rallied an
legend.
empire, sort of. I mean, he must have done some shady shit to get to where he was, and
Well, he did.
yeah.
Who told the story? Was it Flair on Rogan?
Maybe I've missed some episodes, so maybe.
But so it was like early wrestling. Everybody had like their areas, and you didn't like go in other people's areas and
Right.
wrestled.
Right.
And like,
Yeah, it was
I
like a
don't know,
Southeast
I think it was
championship
Vince's dad that was like, yeah, fuck that. and he went wherever, and he took all the superstars wherever he wanted to go,
Right.
and wrestled and like collapsed that whole system
Yes.
and made it what it is. I want to say it was his dad, not him, obviously.
Yeah,
but
I mean, before you could think of it almost as like conferences in the NCAA, where
Pretty much.
you know what I mean. There was
Yeah.
you had a Southeastern division, you had like a Northeastern division, and they all had their own belt systems, and they would all tour. They would go to different
basically
rings
like
around
Letterkenny.
the area and stuff, but it was, yeah, wild.
who's the
No.
toughest guy in Letterkenny?
Wait,
Oh yeah, duh.
is that even up for debate?
No.
He's
No. I just watched that episode though.
there's a
It's when remember when he took some time off and then he had to come back.
that's right at the beginning.
yeah, it's like the second episode.
Yeah.
yeah.
Um,
That's what he asked me. He's like, "So who's the toughest guy in Letterkenny?" And he's like, "I am." And he's like, "Nah, not anymore."
What a great man! Total sidetrack. That show does such a great job of
One of the best.
making a guy look tough without making him a total piece of shit, and I
Yeah.
love it. It's kind of like a Canadian anime where you're like, I love the main character because
For
he's
everyone
wholesome.
out there, we threw Dan a super soft birthday, and if you know Letterkenny at all, you know what that is.
I did have a super. It was
And
maybe
it
one of the greatest birthday parties I ever
greatest
had.
things ever. We didn't get a pony, but
I would like to take
it was a good time.
one quick break and recognize our sponsors.
We are also sponsored by Balloon Dog CBD and THC products. Great quality products from here in Central Florida, locally farmed and legal.
Fantastic packaging, fantastic,
Wonderful packaging.
logo. I want to say
It's
I own
a
a
pretty
shirt.
cool logo.
You may have seen me wearing it downtown. People kind of love to comment on my shirts because I wear a lot of the best ones. But great marketing so far. Great product. Tried it maybe maybe more than anybody else. Definitely
All of
anybody
the
else
products.
here.
Dan loves to try products.
I do love to try. Shish.
All of them.
Tell them where they can find Balloon Dog products, social medias.
Well, we're not open yet, so they can't find them anywhere right now.
But you don't. I mean, you can at least they can go check out the logo and stuff like that. Yeah.
Oh yeah, you can find us on Instagram.
Plug
We
it.
open here in April, primarily online sales and like festival based sales for the moment. But later on in the year, we'll have some storefronts, and you can shop whenever you feel like it, in person. Upcoming events, dude. Have we even been paying attention to the recent UFC 300 rumors?
There's a lot of rumors.
Lot
there's
of
there's- I
rumors.
mean, just
What's your favorite
I think within the
rumor?
last 24 to 48 hours, Conor McGregor had tweeted something about
Yes.
maybe being
Making
involved.
the 300. Yes. I don't think
I have
that's.
doubts. I'm not gonna lie.
I'm happy for that, and for one reason, because that's not your main fight. Like that's in a sense that's a free fight, because they're gonna main fight it, and you're gonna have to pay for that a month or two, differently. Versus now, they're just gonna throw that on there because you have to have a championship fight. It has to be retired fighters or a championship fight.
There are 2 championship fights already announced for that card.
But they're not the main fight.
They're right now announced as the main and co-main event.
But they're not going to be. Dana White said that we can't handle the main event. He said it. So that means it's still coming. And there's no way you have a regular.
Are those rumored matchups? Okay, so some of these I believe are possible. Some of these I believe are impossible.
But see,
So-
even that Leon Edwards fight.
That's not possible. Leon's not going to turn around like that.
But what I'm saying is that is the main event kind of fight.
That is a main. Tom
It has to
Aspinall,
be.
Alex Pereira is big, but I don't think that's going to happen. I think Alex Pereira is going to stay at fucking 205 for a minute. I don't think we see Dricus Israel.
It's got to be a retired fighter fight or a championship fight.
I'll tell you what I don't want to see. I don't want to see
It's the
Khabib.
McGregor fight for a main fight.
I don't want to
agree.
see Khabib. Not that I have anything against him. I just don't want to see it.
Ooh, I saw that rumor too.
I
Be interesting.
I think the likelihood of McGregor being there is high. I think the likelihood of it being McGregor Diaz is low. Nate or Nick, because I've heard both rumors that it could
Yeah.
be McGregor Nick Diaz,
But-
which would be crazy. I mean, that sells the most tickets ever, even more than him and Nate. Even though I would love to see him and Nate more.
Nate
because
only
it
wants
means
to come
more.
back for a main fight.
Yeah, the fight. He wants to come back for the McGregor fight, the trio, which he deserves.
Which would make it, like I said,
That's
so, like,
legendary. Yeah, and they're going to be too old to fight at UFC
by the
400.
time they fight again.
No, that's
Some
I would
bangers have
say.
been
I
dropped.
would say of the wildest rumors, that's the most possible one is Diaz
I could agree.
and McGregor. What I don't want to see is them meeting at anything higher than 170. I think
Which
once
they are, aren't they?
they wouldn't have
185.
Why?
I believe that's what it's at.
They have not confirmed that yet. There's no
I
confirmation.
think it was
that
on
McGregor's the card.
McGregor's like request when he spoke.
The
'Cause
last known.
He released a video for it.
He's a crazy person. What are we talking about
He
here?
is. That's why we like the
Yeah,
collab.
I don't believe anything he says. So this is again a wild. That's a wild rumor.
Fucking hilarious, though.
Yes, he's hilarious. He's in. Did you see the Roadhouse video with him headbutting Jake Gyllenhaal?
Yes.
I love Jake Gyllenhaal, but that was incredible. Yeah, I'm all for it. It looks
Man
great.
gets paid. He chases that bag first.
Okay, so here my thought here is. I have doubts that we even see McGregor at the UFC 300. It's possible. It's because 300s and
What was their fight date? How off from it is it?
What do you mean? How far off from it is it? There's been nothing set
Yeah.
since last year.
Dude, you need to update yourself. It's set.
It's on my terms. He said, I came up to 170. Now you'll come back to 155 and we'll finish what we started. I know it's what we had to do this time around, and I did it. That's about the original rematch, I think.
Yeah, no, they have a fight set. Not those two. We're talking with Chandler.
Yes, that was a year ago.
That fight is set.
No, it's not.
Dude, it's set.
I don't think it is.
It's set, dude.
If that fight was already set, they would have announced it for UFC 300 already.
But it's not on that card. It's set for something else.
Okay, then what are we even talking about? That fight's not going to happen. That fight is a. If that fight happens, it's happening on 300, maybe. But I don't even see that fight happening. I really do not.
He's coming. He's fighting. He said he's fighting. As of like, it was like early January.
Which one, Chandler or McGregor?
McGregor.
Okay. Again, I do not trust a word that man says. He also just said something about UFC 300. Yeah. Recently announced that his unconfirmed fight with Chandler would take place at International Fight Week of 300. He said that like a few months ago.
I'll look it up later. Moving on.
I remember that.
He's gonna come back and fight.
I hope he does. I hope he does
And
good for
let's
his
not
sake.
overshadow 299 is also
I'm at this point looking at the lineup
absolute
way more
banger
excited
card.
for UFC 299.
a lot.
We
I
get
don't
Michael
know.
Venom Page
I
in
don't
the
know,
UFC, dude.
They're
It's gonna be good.
putting a lot on that other card.
On 299.
On both.
Yeah,
They're stacked.
they're
either
both
way.
stacked. Right as of right now, UFC 299 looks great though.
Is Volk fighting at 298?
Yes,
Yeah, it's the Volk.
yes, that's gonna be a banger fight.
Good stuff.
Back to 299.
Can we start doing parlays? Since our last episode, which really quickly, let's definitely go back to UFC stuff. But there was a big gap between our episodes. So if there's anything today that we're a little behind on, we're just catching up. And we got it figured out from here. And we appreciate you guys hanging in there with us and letting us straighten that little problem out. because the last time we spoke was like the last UFC hadn't happened yet.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah,
just
Sean
happened.
Strickland lost.
Yeah.
You know.
No,
and-
not even that one. It was the one before that.
well, yeah.
Which
Sean
one was
Strickland
it?
won,
It was
lost.
the Colby Covington UFC. It
Yeah.
was the last time we got to do this. So,
Wild to think like that.
and now we'll.
But I mean, to
we'll
be
have
fair,
them out
we took
weekly
a,
from
took a
here
break
on
for
out.
Christmas and New
Figured
Year's.
out. Yeah, holidays are over. We got it. You know. Speaking of holidays,
Upcoming holidays.
yeah, like UFC 299 and 300.
Those
'cause
are-
that's how they feel.
Those
right
are
now,
holidays for us.
basically. Is there anything else we want to say about these cards before we move on?
Just that it's gonna rock such hard face, and
We're gonna have
my girlfriend's not gonna love me for those weekends probably.
casserole party. That's all I can think about. Casserole party.
Have you thought about what you're gonna do for a casserole?
No,
I think I know what I want to do.
I want to show up with like 3 casseroles. To be honest, that's why I haven't thought about it yet.
What do you would is? I
We're
mean,
not talking about this at all.
lasagna's a casserole, right?
You hate Italian food.
But lasagna's a casserole.
I would. This is like the shepherd's pie talk. We're not doing this right now. Yes,
Thank you.
It's-
Because I think it
know.
is too.
It-
Okay,
it is.
that's all I needed to know.
but how we did this last time, yes.
Okay,
We can't go on another food rant.
I'm just saying if
Yeah.
that's if you classify that, then thank you. I understand what I'm going to do perfectly now.
Dude, I can't wait.
Just giving up the surprise.
I'm so excited. I'll
Just
forget.
because I say the
He
word
knows-
lasagna,
he knows
doesn't
we're gonna. I'll forget by then.
well, he'll
You
definitely
ever
forget.
had white lasagna? White lasagna is amazing. I know. I seen it. I saw it coming. Yeah.
Wait till you see what we do next. It's gonna be a good time. It's gonna be a heart stopping, literally heart. You're gonna
If
have
you
so much
cooked for me
plaque.
more,
The reason
greatest
I don't,
ginger in history. Ever.
I could make a run for it.
Yeah.
I'm technically a day walker, but I think being half and
Who
half.
do you think your competition is for greatest ginger ever?
One of my favorite comics, Andrew Santino, is pretty far up there. Bill Burr's
He
up
is
there.
absolutely hilarious, but I would put Bill Burr over
Bill
him
Burr's up there for sure.
as greatest gingers ever.
Greatest gingers ever. Oh,
Carrot
we got a
Top?
list. Look at him on
Carrot Top?
Carrot Top's got to be. I
I don't
mean,
even want to look at the list. Stop looking at the list.
I've got to look at the list.
You're
I'm
just
already
killing me
looking
right now.
I'm already looking. I'm. You said something
Seriously
way too late.
though, without looking, who's your greatest ginger ever?
So if I want to, I could. Okay, I'm going to do this in a different way. Musically, there's a lot of great gingers, and I think the first thing I think.
Are you an
of-
Ed Sheeran fan?
Even
Is
worse,
that
a
your
Reba
secret ginger?
McEntire fan.
No,
Reba.
Reba. Shout out to Reba though. Yeah, she's up there. I think she's so hot. No, Cliff Burton from Metallica, famous ginger, famous bassist. Unfortunately, died in the late '80s. Broke all of our hearts.
That's
That's
who
how
you
he's
have
up
for
there.
Greatest gingers of all time.
He's one of the greatest gingers. He was a cool ass dude, and
So you're competing against him in your mind for greatest ginger ever?
yeah. And he just brought up one of my other choices. I don't know if that's natural or not, but it was one of the first things that popped in my mind. David Bowie.
So music has got your greatest gingers of all time locked up.
Is there anything more important than music?
Music is very important. I'll give you that. Like, I genuinely
Music is food for
can
the soul.
feel the difference in days that I don't listen to music.
Yeah. You feel
Like,
terrible.
You have to have a couple, just listen to a couple songs every day, and it truly will change your mood.
Yes.
But back to the ginger thing. Offhand,
Mark McGuire.
I'll drink to that. I'll drink to that. Are you out of the special adult juice? I didn't take one. Seriously though.
Feeling great.
Feeling great. George Washington was the ginger. Well, you're naming off David Bowie. You should be competing with George Washington.
Nobody thinks of him as a ginger when you immediately think of George Washington because maybe syphilis and had a powdered wig.
Yeah. Now I'm thinking Mark McGuire, but
You're welcome.
it'd be Daniel Bennett, Mark McGuire, and George Washington. Compete. You got to put Carrot Top in there.
Mountain
It
Ginger
changed the
more.
game.
2 comedians. Well, one aspiring comedian and one.
So I was like, who's the other comedian? My bad. Comedy tour. But seriously though, what would you're gonna put it on David Bowie or the Metallica guy?
In my life, yeah. I mean, my mom. My mom's a pretty rad ginger. My daughter.
Molly's got it wrapped up.
I mean, she has her whole life in front of her to either confirm or.
She's gonna be an animal in all the best ways. And I'm gonna give her pointers in her corner when she makes her UFC debut.
Victor makes a very silent and
very-
excellent point about Chuck Norris.
Chuck
right
Norris is a ginger. I never saw the list. I didn't want to look. I was trying to go off the top.
Now.
of my head.
I mean, I can barely see, so I was doing my best. But
I probably couldn't read it from here even if I looked.
I'd like to plug the Haha Comedy Crew.
Ha!
Haha! We just played a killer show at Mutiny,
A
which may or may not be
bomb
one of our other
show.
sponsors. Foreshadowing. But we just played a bomb show. We packed the place out. The shows we do so far are free. That may change very quickly depending on how much
Just
if
pay
these things keep
the
being
people
popular.
for their
Not gonna lie.
jokes.
It may change. We may start charging tickets, but for now, it's free.
Should definitely come out.
I'm gonna plug.
See my
I'm gonna plug
friends.
everybody that I can think of too. I want to plug
They're fucking funny.
Jason Fagan. I want to plug Forrest Gates. I want to plug Joan. I want to plug. I want to plug Nathan James, myself, Daniel Bennett. We all, that core group, have been working very hard. Brett Golden's new to the group. Dylan. We all have been trying to put together shows as a group. We are the Haha Comedy Crew, and we've been having a so bad. We've been killing it, man. We're coming out swinging. Ew.
Conor McGregor's a ginger.
He's at the bottom of the list.
He's at the bottom.
I want him to come back to get beat if we were really gonna get.
I
down that
know
road.
we've talked about this many times, but
If he
It is
fights
what it
Nick
is.
Diaz or Nate, either Diaz,
either one,
I'm not gonna not root for our boys from Stockton.
I get that.
You know what I mean?
I understand that completely.
There's that. There, yeah.
I
there's not
still
even-
gotta pitch George Washington, just for the greatest ginger of all time. I'm just saying.
Genghis Khan was a ginger.
How's that
Dude,
possible?
did you know Genghis Khan murdered, slaughtered 1/3 of the population that was present on Earth during his time? A full 1/3 of the world's population he slaughtered. There was an army
And then he
that
fucked the
went
rest.
against him. Then there was an army that went against him, and they walked for miles, thinking that to get to him it was right over that hill, and they walked for miles to get to this hill, and then when they got there, it was just bodies. That hill was bodies. So I don't think he's making the greatest ginger conversation, but you know, to each their own.
Apparently, Mark Twain was a ginger, but according to that picture, is not very
That
ginger-like.
doesn't-
Picasso, or sorry, Vincent Van
Gogh.
Gogh. I'm an idiot.
Yeah.
We'll skip over that one. Yeah,
Winston
that one too,
Churchill.
probably. Marilyn Monroe I thought was always told she was a brunette. What kind of list is this? Why does he keep popping up?
Apparently, we need someone to go on Google and
No
read
doubt.
this list.
He made the top of 2 different
It's Carrot
lists.
Top. It's fine.
You're fired from
George
Googling for a
Washington.
minute, Victor. Every list you find has Prince Harry at the top, and I'm sick of this shit.
I'm trying to think.
He's just last on the list.
A little high. Looks like a ginger J-Lo. There's a chair again. Apparently, it's very important. Anyways, enough of the ginger talk.
Yeah, this is ludicrous.
You started it. It's planting season. It's that time of year, people.
You
Get
should
your
be out there
seedlings in
doing
the
your thing.
ground.
I do. I have something to tell you.
Do you?
I have some peppers growing.
Do you?
Yeah,
That's hot.
just a little one little pepper
That's
guy.
hot.
I did that for you.
What kind of peppers?
I'm not. They're either. I think they're like. They grow to be very small. They're like Thai peppers or something like that.
Told you it's hot.
Yeah.
I bought seeds today to plant. I'm gonna do it tomorrow. I'm
You
gonna
don't.
sleep
You
in.
can't go anywhere without buying seeds. You literally just stuff them in every crevice that you have on you, and you're
That
like, I'm gonna
sounds
buy
so
38 seed packets today.
That's so weird.
That's what you do.
Say it that way.
Yeah, well, that's what it looks like. Going to Lowe's with you was an eye-opening experience.
So
you
much
were
fun.
like the oldest
If
lady.
it's on the ground, they're just gonna let it die. So you gotta pick up those little things and take them home and propagate them, and they turn into a whole ass plant. I've done it hundreds of times.
That's fine, but it's like following
so excited.
a very stingy old lady
Planting
around.
season. I have my greenhouse finally.
Look at my begonias.
No begonias.
You're so it's cute. I love it.
I have a couple plants going right now,
I know you do.
so they're all gifted.
Love that.
I planted chive. That's the only thing I planted so far. Because I love potatoes, as you know.
Off to a great start. Off like
I think so.
Off like a herd of
It
turtles.
can
you
grow
know what I
like
mean?
on my counter. So I just pulled the potato out of the oven. I want all the butter melts. I cut the chive. It's like that's living my best life.
My immediate like mental picture is of you with a very like large pair of clippers, very studiously snipping the tops of the chives into the bowl.
I bend them to the side and I get the beard trimmer out. And I go. Zoom.
Or would they be very small scissors because he thought that they were
The
the wrong size whenever he ordered them?
Oh yeah,
I order the wrong size shit
all the time.
often.
Yeah,
It's so bad.
it's cute.
It's funny.
It's
Sometimes.
cute.
And sometimes it sucks because I really wanted whatever it was, and it was like a mini version of it. How did we get here?
And then you
We're
have
supposed to talk about soups.
we missed
did.
it. We did.
Did we finish soups?
No, you kicked me out of there.
I don't think that's true.
You kicked me out of the soup department.
I don't think so.
You booted me out like I exposed myself to a child in the soup department, and you said,
You know that's illegal?
You said, now I'm not allowed within 1,000 feet of a school, and
It's
it's
not
because
true.
you.
He sits in Carline every day.
It's,
Almost 2 hours.
We've already talked about this. It's the worst experience. Oh my gosh.
What do you think, like, the remedy to Carline would be?
The remedy?
Like, how do you think it could be improved? And we're going right back.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay, so just allow all the cars to park around the perimeter of the school, right? And have the school gated off in such a way that there's only one entrance in or out, right, at a certain point, and that leads out into where all the cars are parked. And you open that gate and you kick every single one of those little motherfuckers out, and they go to their parents' cars
just
because
run?
yeah.
So have it built like a prison, one way in and one way out.
Every school in Marion County has some level of fencing all the way around it right now.
It resembles prison.
I mean,
They
say
all
what
do.
you will, but they've got to do something from allowing people to just wander in there.
Do you think it increases road rage when people leave Carline?
Oh yeah, oh yeah, man. Because not only do when I get out of the car line, am I already just mad from dealing with that, but when immediately after I get out, I have to wait in line because the next within, I don't know, we'll say 200 yards is a 4-way stop, which this is 4:30 or 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Everybody's getting out of work. All these buses, all these parents are trying to leave in the same. There's only 2 directions to go, left or right, and both ways are 4-way stops. So it's just totally congested traffic on your way out. I'm sitting there for 20 minutes just leaving after.
But do you think that the road rage is from Carline or the traffic?
Yes.
So both.
Yes.
You think you have a heightened road rage issues during those hours?
For sure. My kids have learned brand new ways to insult people this year, and it's amazing.
Do they talk during the road rage, or they just sit there quietly like they know what time it is?
Sometimes,
Like, we'll get down the road to the left a little ways and it'll be fine.
sometimes Molly or Morgan will just shout from the backseat, like, "What the heck is going on up there in front of us? What are you doing?" Like talking to the people
like,
in front of us.
Oh, that's
Yeah, those are my girls. Mason is just ignoring everybody in his own world. Yeah, he doesn't care.
lucky guy. I just feel like I'm getting much worse cases of road rage these days, and I don't visit Carline, so I don't have an explanation. And I rarely drive during rush hour.
Well, traffic's getting worse here. 100% every day.
It's getting worse where I live too.
Not only that, but there is tons of road work happening locally.
So much road work.
Everywhere in every direction, in very congested parts of town, in different parts, you know what I mean, in all those different parts of town.
You know what I want?
You can't go anywhere without hitting road work right now.
Do you know what I want?
What do you want?
A fucking magic carpet. Just scoot around, because I don't necessarily drive far when I have to drive a lot. So, like, it would solve all my problems.
If the magic carpet was as animated and fun as the one from Aladdin, that would be even better.
No.
You
I want, like...
What do you mean, no?
I want one that, like, I'm just, like... I mean, I guess that one would work.
Why are you so
I
focused
want my
on the
bong to
word
rest on
carpet?
it very nice, and I just want to be, like, chilling. I want the Tesla of magic carpets. I just let it know where I want to go, and it's like, all right. And then we have a nice cruise over there.
I think you leave the bong at home and
No,
like about
I'm back on the bong. dude.
1 hour
I'm
before.
back, I got a new one, and now
About-
I'm just like, I'm trying to ditch the blunt so I can quit smoking cigarettes.
Right.
And the bong has, like, dude, that first hit when I got the new one home, it was like changed my life. It reminded me how much I love smoking out of a bong. And now I'm like, that's all I want to do.
Did you ice it for your first hit?
I didn't.
He's too lazy
I
for
was
that.
way too lazy for that. I'm in my 30s now.
No, leave the bong.
18-year-old me had ice in there and broke up the weed by like hand, very fine. 34-year-old me got in the house, forgot I got it, had to go back out to the car to get it, brought it inside, put the like weed in it, put the water in,
I think you're doing too much work.
hit it one time,
doing-
and I was like, this is what I want to do. And then I didn't hit it again for like 30 minutes.
No, bong at home is fine. Bong on magic carpet ride, no. What you
do
do?
you mean?
No. You take about.
What would you hit, a vape pen?
No, you do. I hate you so much right now. You do about 5 grams of mushy mushrooms,
Dude,
and
this
then
is everyday, like, commutes. It's
Yeah.
different. I'm not eating mushrooms to go to do everything I do. I ate mushrooms to come do this, but that's besides the point.
But
I am not going to have mushrooms and, like, go handle my business affairs.
I wish I knew what the words "short commute" were. So every trip for me is about half an hour to an hour long.
Dude, you live so far away, your magic carpet would get tired coming to town.
Yeah,
So I understand.
we have to.
So maybe
We have to scooty pose. Yeah, no, my magic carpet is strictly for recreation.
I just want to, like, zip around town, grab some food, go to the store, come
just
back
want
to the house.
It to autopilot me around while
Yeah, the
I
Tesla.
stare drooling into the universe, contemplating
carpets.
life itself. That's what I want to do.
Dude, you know how big your carpet would have to be
That's
with all your kids? That's why
A
you're
living
saying no
room
to the
carpet
bong.
would be
That's
fine.
why you're saying no to the bong, because you got kids on your carpet. Don't get mad at me.
just me, just a little drum.
It's me and the dog just hanging out.
Yelling at the kids because they're fighting on each other. We have a magic carpet. You have zero reason to argue with each other
None.
about anything anymore.
Would you let your kids go alone on the magic carpet?
Never. That's my
Never?
shit. No. No. What? No. If he was magical and friendly like the one from Aladdin, yes, but you were very short with me about the one from Aladdin, which is ridiculous because he can hold your stupid bong for you.
I would so
I love bongs, by the way.
I would totally
would not take
convince-
one on a magic carpet to drop from 500 feet in the air.
So like we live in a world of convenience, and there's so many like ways to get around like modern day things now. Like I set an alarm on my television to wake me up, and hey Alexa, set an alarm 6 a.m. blah blah blah, and like it's no effort to shut that alarm off, so it doesn't do shit. So like 6 a.m. rolls around, my TV's like blaring, yelling at me to wake up, and I'm literally just like, Alexa, turn the alarm off, and it shuts it off, and I just go right back to sleeping. So it doesn't do like anything for that. But I forgot where I was going with this.
Maybe
What does that
it's
have to do with the magic carpet?
no doubt.
Yeah, I really.
How dare you?
I had it too. You're gonna have to cut all this out, and we're gonna play along like I remembered it.
No way. No. First, keep it in there because my argument for having a fun friend magic carpet that likes to dap you up and hold your bong for you is way better than not having that cool fun magic
Oh no
carpet.
no! This is where it was going. I'm sorry. I'm high. I feel like there's no way around the explanation to a magic carpet. Like if you tell a magic carpet, be like, no matter what I say, don't listen to me. Do this. And I would have my magic carpet like drop me off at the end of the road and make me walk home so I get extra exercise. I'd be like, no matter what I say, don't let me back on the carpet. Like, let me just walk back home.
Yeah, yeah. If he was a friend, like I just announced.
Exactly. I feel like that's where that would go.
Yeah.
Like best.
Yes. He's a friend. He's gonna get you.
I'd make him do it to my dog too. I'd be like, take Bane around the block, but make him walk half of it.
You can in magic. You can do anything,
I'd
meaning
just be at the
sculpt his
house.
whole personality and be like, I want him to be a homie who's like wants me to be home safe all the time.
You get high
And-
with him like he's Ted.
Yeah, except when you're not going out anywhere because you don't want him to fly into a tree.
Would Aladdin,
Now, I'd like to eat 5 grams of mushrooms and go on a magic carpet with Ted. That would be a time I'd like to eat 5 grams of mushrooms.
do you think Aladdin would have had mushrooms or a bong on his magic carpet?
Give it a hash, maybe.
Yeah, he would definitely have had.
Mutiny Ocala, we are sponsored by as well.
This is true.
The coolest, nicest dive bar you've ever found. Recent review is that we are one of the most inclusive bunch of assholes downtown, and we wear that badge with pride. We serve great food. We have a beautiful selection of beer. We have a bunch of beautiful bartenders like myself and Taylor, who is known as the third best bartender downtown, I believe.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's crazy.
yeah.
But I don't know how you're not letting the people know that their favorite hot dog is there.
What?
The people have spoken.
Yes, we are the people's two-time People's Choice winner of Wiener Wars. So come on down, get the best dogs in town. We've got hoagies, we got salads, we got specials every week. Check us out. Yeah, moving right along.
I think the best thing about Mutiny is that it's a pirate bar.
It is a bar bar.
It has a beautiful mural inside painted by Teddy Sykes from the local downtown artist. It's fucking rad. It's a pleasure to work there and
Pretty cool.
pretty cool place to hang out. Not gonna lie.
Have you read into the stolen driveway at all?
A little bit. You messaged me about it. Yeah.
Oh my goodness. So this lady is selling her home, and she was getting weird phone calls but didn't think anything of it because she had just posted the house. So she goes to work one day, and then she comes home to her driveway gone. There's no evidence of anybody being there, nothing. It's all cleaned up and it's all real nice and proper. But the driveway is completely gone. It was like just a cement, nothing special driveway. And come to find out that she was scammed by some really genius thief who hired a company to come remove her driveway. And he paid to have the driveway removed by writing the company a check. So he writes the check to the company for more than what the driveway was worth. And then the check bounces. But in between that period, the same day, the company calls the thief back, the scammer, and says, "Well, it was only 500 for the driveway. You wrote us a check for 700." And he goes, "Oh, well, can I just get the 200?" And they're like, "Yeah, no problem." And he's like, "I'll stop by and pick it up this afternoon." And then he swings by and picks up $200 from the company and made $200 for sitting at his house and scheduling this company to come over and dig up her driveway, take it away. Now she's out of driveway. This company's out the labor to put in to get rid of the driveway, plus the $200, and the check bounces.
Oh my God, dude. First of all, first reaction.
Next level scheming shit.
Okay. First reaction. How did these people arrive to a customer's house? Or,
He left a memo, said, "I'm at work. This is it." They send a picture. "Yep, that's my driveway." "All right, we're going to get to it."
but what I'm saying is, how could you perform such a, why would you as a business perform such a thing to a house with nobody there?
Because they're at work. It's common.
I don't
We
know.
do
man.
handyman jobs in people's houses all the time when they're not home.
That seems a little. I mean,
Yeah, dude, it's nuts.
it's good. I mean, definitely next level plotting and scheming. That's a super villain type shit. That's hilarious.
Insane. And he's done it multiple times in different areas. Like, he has multiple of these crimes. There's a pattern.
There's a pattern. He must be stealing checks, right? There's no way he's using his own checks to write. You know what I mean?
I don't know. I didn't ask about that, but I guess.
Because if he was using his own checks, they would be able to track that immediately.
Well, yeah. So I mean,
Was he
I
caught
would
or
assume-
no?
I haven't updated it.
Okay.
This was back shortly after the last podcast, so I didn't. Yeah, it's
That's
nuts.
amazing. That's an amazing.
It's insane, dude.
That's an amazing plan. That works. I'm shocked that it's worked more than once.
In different, I don't know if it's different states or different areas or exactly where, but he's definitely done it multiple times.
I'm
Multiple.
so curious. Also, if he's going to these places to pick up cash, like the office to pick up the extra cash, they must have him on camera. Somebody must have him on camera somewhere.
I don't know. See it? See her non-driveway driveway?
That's wild. I can't read, but
Yeah.
that isn't. I mean, nobody can see it right now, but we are looking at this woman's missing driveway. It's a
Dirt.
patch of dirt that clearly had something on top of it for many years.
The soil's perfect.
That's fucking wild, bro.
Isn't it? You just come home, your driveway's gone, you're trying to sell your house.
You'd think you're on drugs. You'd think somebody drugged me. Somebody spiked my drink.
This is a Disney character.
Yeah.
If I've ever seen one.
This is a plot that Bugs Bunny would cook up to fuck with Yosemite Sam.
Yes.
100%.
All day.
Circling back, since yeah.
This is so bizarre, dude.
Oh my gosh.
Like, who thinks of that, dude? It's insanity. Speaking of Disney characters,
Yeah.
Victor has a great question.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, we were talking about Aladdin and
Yeah.
mushrooms and hash.
I think Aladdin would definitely be hash, though.
It has to be. I mean, naturally.
Which one has the best drugs?
What
'Cause, I
Disney
mean,
character has the best drugs?
Does Alice have
Alice in Wonderland
LSD
has
and
mushrooms. Well,
I don't know.
That worm is definitely smoking some hashish. Who
I'm
who
thinking
else has
the
drugs?
I'm thinking the dwarves from Snow White must know the land pretty well around there. Those boys look like they get down pretty hard. You know what I mean? There's one that has gotten down maybe a little too hard, dopey. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just
he
took
can't-
one too many.
It's the one brother.
Probably. I mean, I'm probably. That's got to be
Gotta
mushrooms, locally sourced mushrooms. I'm trying to think.
I don't think that's what they're going for there. It's a little bit older.
I mean,
Cartoon.
did Sleeping Beauty take drugs to go to sleep?
Is that opium?
Is she
Is
just
that
an
opium
Ambien
too?
girl?
And why wouldn't Aladdin have opium? Because
No, Mulan would have had the
Yeah,
opium.
Mulan would-
Maybe not yet, time frame wise, but that's the China is more known for having an opium situation.
I would go with Milan in that situation there.
yeah, I thought there. Well, I know there's a lot of poppy seeds out there in the Middle East. Isn't that right? Isn't that true?
I don't know if it works regionally, but this means Pocahontas would have to have peyote, right?
I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Aladdin would also have weed, since directly related to hash. Yeah.
Andy from Toy Story is going to college, so he's probably got some pretty fire green.
All the pills. He can get any pill in college.
No, that's Sid next door.
Sid's probably the coolest person to hang out with of all of them. Hello, I'm
Drug-wise.
Sid, and welcome to Jackass. He's basically Steve-O.
I think he really kind of is.
Looks like Steve-O too, now that I think about it. Fucked up teeth, shaved head.
And is Mary Poppins rocking some syrup?
Ooh, good call. Mary
She's
Poppins, I think in that day and age, cocaine was popular for
Yeah, she
housewives
was.
and stuff like that. So that's probably a cocaine situation.
I mean, well, she gave him some syrup on a spoon.
Good call though. It's like, yeah, it's just cough medicine. They're doing the thing.
So which one? Who's got the best drugs out of the Disney characters?
So far, I feel like the best one to do regularly would have been still Aladdin. You still get,
The magic carpet.
that's where I was going
No
with
matter
it.
what drug he's got,
Exactly where
he's
I was
got the
going with
magic
it.
carpet. He had a fucking genie.
I feel like we're missing something somewhere.
Yeah, we're definitely missing. We got. I feel like
My brain is right. We've had too
Scar
much.
from Lion King was an alcoholic, for sure.
I
Did Snow White?
He
don't know
was-
that animals
He was,
necessarily.
he was the angry alcoholic uncle.
I mean, yes, but
Like if they drove,
he's angry because he
he's got
can't
four-
open the bottle.
he's got 4 DUIs on the Serengeti, easy.
Oh, for sure. Oh my god.
Oh, what was in that drink that Dumbo drank too? The mank
No,
elephant.
I've got
Is
one
that a
better than
Disney?
that. I've got
Is
one
Dumbo
better than that.
Disney?
Yeah.
Yeah, Dumbo's Disney. What? What do you mean it's Dumbo Disney?
I don't know why.
I'm not even a Disney adult, but come on, get it together over there. I've got one better. So, Pinocchio was turned from puppet to boy, right?
Uh-huh.
And then he took something to be turned from boy to donkey. What was that?
Yeah, that's an LSD.
That's craziness. I think it's PCP. I think it's PCP. That's what that is. You're hallucinating.
I don't think you drink PCP, do you?
I don't think it matters.
I don't think it does either.
That's the
I guess.
effects. I'm a donkey
See
in the
some
middle of
shit.
traffic. You know what I mean? Like, that's some PCP shit. Yeah. Alice in Wonderland has a lot of vibes though, because
Yeah,
you're right
I
with it.
feel like
Because you got to think about the caterpillar smokes the.
I feel like you could find all the drugs in there.
Just if you look hard
All
enough.
of the drugs are available.
The Mad Hatter has to be on some sort of drugs.
He's on meth. Mad Hatter's on meth.
He's having a long day.
He's got real Forrest Gates
It's
energy,
been
if you know what I mean.
Going on its
Shout out
8th
Haha
day.
Comedy Crew.
No, I do feel like that though. Like all the drugs are available through the Looking Glass.
So I think then it must be decided that Alice in Wonderland has to be the best way to go because you get a variety. So you don't, burn yourself out.
So you don't burn yourself out. So you can
You like that?
balance out and you can center yourself.
Right.
You're supposed to bite a lime.
I don't
or a
know.
lemon.
I don't know.
Put the lime in the
Maybe Snow
coconut.
White has a couple of different things too. The dwarves could be doing different things because one of them's sneezy,
I feel like
one of them's dopey. There might be a couple of different ones there.
That's
feel
what I was
like-
trying to allude to. They can find things
I
everywhere.
feel like Snow White's gonna keep me up for like 4 days to where I see these little dwarves.
No,
lying asleep.
no. What you're thinking of is
Cocaine.
Maybe
Snow
that's where she
White.
got her name. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. And you're just seeing these things because you haven't slept in.
You know
4
what
to
would be
5
really
days.
fucked up of Disney? You know how
Your nose
they're hot on these remakes, right?
Uh-huh.
Maybe you should look this up before I really put my foot in my mouth. But could you real quick check and see who the female is that's cast to be Snow White in the upcoming live action movie? 'Cause I'm pretty sure she's Spanish, and that would make this the creme de la creme of the day
They
right
just
now.
don't care at all. Is it?
Yeah, go back
Is
up.
it Rachel?
Right there. Rachel Zegler. Let's get some of her information. I'm thinking that she may not be, but let's get she could be though. What's the IMDb, my friend?
Wikipedia, her name.
Or Wikipedia, yeah. About the only thing I trust Wikipedia
I still
for.
haven't finished my shit.
Let's say where she's from.
America.
Answers that.
That helped. I mean, that picture makes her look extremely white. If we're being fair,
Her
there's other
mother
ones
is
are.
Colombian.
There we And the puzzle pieces fell directly into place, ladies and gentlemen.
know.
And I don't think
They thought that through.
I don't think that we could have
We
closed this podcast on any finer point than the upcoming Disney remake of Snow White stars a princess
Colombian.
from Colombia. Good night.